Hey everyone, we're here with Adam Jarvis from Scour. Scour's got a new album coming out, Gold, February 21st, I think, is the release date. A stunning fucking piece of work from start to finish. Make sure you pre-order your copy because there is on the vinyl, which is my thing, gold. There's a gold with black splatter, and there's black. Um, get your fucking first edition Scour. Adam, thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out and chat with me about the new album.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here. I'm glad you got to hear it all the way in its entirety. That's
Oh,
that's
dude,
killer.
yeah, the fucking album, like, I heard the first single and was like, oh, I want to hear this whole thing. And I'm listening to it. And of course, it's like Cross and Blades, and then Infusorium, which is like one of my favorites, leading into Ornaments. And the way it ends with Angels going into Serve is like, I think it ends fucking perfectly, dude. It's so
Sounds
fucking,
like you've maybe listened to it as much as I have, which is like a million times.
yes.
Yeah, man, it definitely takes you on a journey, and it's really cool with all the the soundscape segues in between, how it leads into the next track. And man, those were all composed by Phil as well. Phil and my cousin John helped capture, a lot of the recordings, but Phil has a piano right in his living room, and what you're hearing is recorded all down there. And his idea is coming from the depths of the madness of the brain, and
Yeah.
it's evil. It's straight up. Some of it sounds like something that you would hear out of like Hereditary, or something just builds the momentum, and it's terrifying.
Dude, it really is. And it invokes all of those emotions. And it's like,
Invoke.
yeah, yeah, yes. Pun intended.
Yeah.
So it really does. It draws so many fucking emotions out of you. And I think when you get into, heavier music, that sometimes is really hard to fucking do. Because sometimes it's just blast beat in your fucking dick, let's let's go. But
Yeah,
it really does take you on a fucking journey.
it really does. And the lyrics even build a suspense that, it almost like paints a image of like grotesque, uh, vile, something from another planet of fucking madness. I don't know the best way to say it, but Phil's lyrics on this one, yeah, because we never know when we record the music. Like
Right.
he'll be like, oh, I got some ideas, and he'll like spitball a couple things to you, but then you hear like he'll send the email like starting the vocals today, something, and then all of a sudden you get the final product, and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
guy's a genius, obviously. I mean, he's recorded and it's been on some of the most legendary, amazing metal records to ever come out. So it's, yeah, man, the guy still got it. Let's put it that way.
fuck yeah, he does. Like in this album absolutely shows like he's still got it. Like, I was
Yeah.
talking with Jimmy Bauer, and Jimmy said, "Oh, I went to go see him at, one of the Pantera shows in Texas, I guess last year." And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, he's fucking recording vocals backstage uh for the new Down album." And I'm like, "All right,
He
that's
doesn't
fucking
stop.
no." He was
Yeah.
like,
Man doesn't stop, and he has a notebook actually for, he always goes, he's like, I'll go back to the notebook or something like that, of like just lyrics that he's had since even, back in the Pantera days that didn't fit, or, was just like he'll use it in another project eventually. So you never know how old some of these ideas and concepts are that you get. And, some of the stuff for the Gold record is, based on different books that he's been reading. Like Infusorium is a book by John Paget that, you know, where it's like the head's twisted backwards, facing up, that line, like when I first heard it, and just like you can literally because he enunciates everything to the point to where you can literally paint your own picture of like what is happening.
Yeah,
And that's like usually something that you get it through music, of course, but in death metal, a lot of the times that gets lost in translation just because you can't
understand.
understand a lot of,
Yeah.
but with, yeah, the way he enunciates stuff and it literally is like you're, yeah, watching a movie. Like I said, it's not too many people pull that off, man.
No,
It's pretty amazing.
it really is. It's fucking hard. You're absolutely right. It's hard to for anyone to like pull that off, especially when you don't know what the fuck they're saying. Like, oh, you listen to it and you're
Yeah,
going, man, that's a really cool growl. But Phil, you can fucking listen through and you're like, oh, I know exactly what he said in fucking,
yeah,
there and
because
there.
it's like I remember the first time that happened for me was like listening to like The Bleeding or something by Cannibal Corpse, where I was just like, holy fuck, like this is some intense shit. Like you feel like you're like doing something wrong by listening to it. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't let anybody know I'm doing this. This
I'm
is
going to
like,
jail. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, excuse me, sir, were you
Uh,
just listening to The Bleeding? But it's the same thing, and it it's such a rare thing. I know I've already said that before, but to like actually scare you when you're
Yeah.
listening to death metal.
It's great. That's what you fucking, you listen to it for one of two reasons. Either you want to be fucking scared or you want the Cookie Monster effect. It's so fucking over the top. You're just like, yeah, right. This is great for that reason.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Scour has a little bit of both, where it's like the pummeling, brutality with that on top. So it's match made in hell.
Match made in hell. Yes. We'll call this the match made in hell fucking episode. So,
That was off the dome right there.
yeah, thanks, Adam. Uh, so when you went in to fucking record the drums for this, what was that process like for you?
Whew. Well, that was back in February 2023 when I recorded the drums. So yeah, it's almost 2 years now. So it was basically one of those things where, Phil's been super busy doing the Pantera stuff, of course. And it was like, when do we have time to where we can get into the studio? And typical Scour fashion, the record was not even really technically complete with the songwriting process. Derek writes almost everything, and he had most of it written, but it was like, all right, we got this time frame. This is when we're going to do it. All right. You usually always start with the drums. So we all flew down, and I had a little bit more leeway this time, as opposed to like say the Black EP when we recorded that. Like some of those takes were literally like first time even trying to play it. And also, I mean, I would say that for probably 70% of the Gold album was I never even tried to play it until we got into the studio.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's like you know, give it what you got, let it rip, and you know, that's pretty much how we roll. And I like it because it's there's some spontaneity, and you're not dwelling on it, and you're not like, okay, it has to be this drum fill, or it has to be, set in stone in a certain way. It's like we try a lot of different shit out, and whatever sounds the best. And obviously I'm recorded a bunch of records at this point, but it's like, what you want. It's like I'll even be in like the middle of a take and I'll stop playing, and they're like, oh man, that was fucking sick. I'm like, there was one hit that I didn't like out of like, you're doing, 260 beats per minute. It's like, but my brain will pick out, up that's nope, I'm just going to stop now because I know I'm going to hear it and I'm not going to like it. And we're just going to have to do it again anyways.
Yeah. That's so
So
funny.
yeah, we spent probably like a week tracking the drums, maybe a little bit longer. And it was grueling, man. there was actually some point where like I was so sore. I finished tracking one day, and Phil was like, he was like, "Here, I got something for you." And he's like, "Let's go over to the house." And he gets me these like Epsom salts. You're talking about being an old ass man. Like I was like, he's like, "You should go upstairs, run a hot bath, go chill out." Because like very physical. Playing this kind of shit. It's doesn't get any easier either.
No.
So
Uh,
yeah, man, just literally had to soak in this bathtub one day. It was like the fourth day of tracking. I thought my arms were gonna fall off. So it was grueling in a way, but you hear it now and it's fucking ripping, and that's all that matters.
yeah, that finished product it's absolutely stellar, you know. The things that I've seen about the lead single is just like, holy fuck. Like, yes, you know,
Hell yeah.
wait till you hear the whole thing. You're gonna be like, what in the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I was home for the holidays back St. Louis area where I grew up, and met up with a couple of my buddies, like best friends for years kind of thing. And we always meet up every year, of course, and sat down to play the whole record for them. So like, dude, they heard, Infusorium, and that was it. Then I sent them like a couple other tracks, and I was like, not going to send it all to you just yet. Well, you know,
Chew on
so we
this,
had a
yeah.
little like listening party while I was home, and they were just like, holy shit, dude. Like, not just saying this, it's like everything about it. Like, Phil's vocals are, that's what I keep telling people. It's just like Phil's vocals are violent on it, and he's doing a lot of stuff that I haven't heard him do in years. Even like some shit that he was doing on like Great Southern Trendkill, you hear come out throughout the record,
Yeah.
or like talking over a certain part, and then a scream will come in, and really fun listen.
Yeah, it really is. And like the band as a whole sounds so fucking tight. You, John, Derek, Mark, and of course Phil coming in over top of it. Like I think over the last 5 years, I've seen Phil a number of times and he is sounding dude, he's sounding so fucking good, which is
He really is,
crazy
man.
because he's of course he's got some fucking years on him now. Man,
Hmm.
he's like so fucking laser focused with music and
He is.
sound,
I
dude.
was gonna say the exact same thing. He is laser focused when he goes on that stage, and he's not even nervous. Like, was it a Metallica show? Let's go do it.
Yeah.
How many people can go out there with that kind of confidence?
I'd
He's,
fucking
I mean,
shit myself, dude. Like,
yeah, he's obviously been doing it for fucking ever. I mean, he tells stories about, his first bands and just playing in the New Orleans scene. And I mean, he's a lifer, dude. He's been doing the shit since he was, I don't even know if it was a teenager. He was a
yeah.
young buck out there, hungry, wanting it. Obviously, Pantera, forget about it. They took over the world.
And
So it's
and
awesome.
it's funny going like Pantera and Down, I think are probably the two most notable bands that Phil's a part of, and both of them are at, all the respect for both of those bands. It doesn't get any fucking higher than that. So to touch not one, but two, and now like I think Scour's right in there fucking with it. Like the respect, especially once fucking Gold comes out, people are gonna go, what in the fuck? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like didn't pay attention to it yet, but you're about to. At
Yeah.
least that's the goal, because EPs, I mean, sometimes they just get lost. A lot of people don't really, I guess, maybe take them as seriously. And I've even heard that from a label head back in the day when he's like, yeah, EPs are great, but it's like, you know, not as many people are going to really, it's not going to gain as much traction, I guess. So this being the first proper full length, and just judging by, what I've heard, a lot of people saying that like this is the first time that they've ever even heard of Scour,
Right.
and the band's been around since
2017, I think, something like that.
2017 was the Gray EP. Yeah. So that's crazy to hear, especially when you have somebody like Phil in your band. You figure that like everybody would know about it or something, but it's like that's not the case. It's extreme and it's different. It's not going to appeal to everybody. And that's why
Yeah,
the new full length, that was I think a conscious thought process for Derek was to make some of the songs a little bit more um, easy to digest, I guess would be, for lack of better words to put it. I don't know, but he was saying how he just wanted, you know, when it hits hard, but have like killer melodies, killer memorable segues, killer, just solos, that all that stuff throughout the record. And I think we captured it pretty well.
I absolutely agree with that because it fucking hits you hard and then it lets you like take a breather and then it fucking kicks your ass again and you get another breather and then it kicks your
Yeah.
ass again, and it's like, holy fuck, like, okay, we get a break. No, I don't. Okay, break. And,
Yeah.
that's, I think that's why I really like how it ends with Angels into Serve, because Angels is
Yeah.
kind of a like, oh man, this is like good fucking emotion. Like, I dig this. And then Serve is again like, we're gonna end it by fucking punching you in the nose, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
So I think you're right, with Phil being in the band, you would expect more people to hear about it, but fans of like Pantera don't necessarily like really dig into what are all the other projects. So they're,
Yeah.
like there's I guess there's a balance there, but with Gold is gonna, I'm fucking exhausted right now, so bear with me. Um,
All good, man. All good. Vegas will do that to
Dude,
you.
it's so stupid. Well, like I said, we did 6 Feet Under Tuesday night. I get home
I
at,
saw them. Yeah, I saw them a couple weeks ago. It was sick. Them and
yeah,
Psychroptic.
yep. Dude,
Hell yeah.
Psychroptic. Holy fuck.
Yeah, man. We toured with them a few times over in Europe, and yeah, Dave Haley. Well, I guess the Haley brothers, you can say.
Yep.
Gosh,
Yeah, they've got
they're
Jason Kaiser on fucking vocals right now for
yep,
this run, which is super cool. Uh
yeah. Jason's a man
yeah.
from
So
Origin. Yep,
yep. So night one, Dave played drums and in Nashville. So then I guess he had something to do back home and he took off. So they've got Gabe Sieber um,
that's right. I just saw that. Yeah,
filling in on
yeah.
drums
That's not easy shoes to fill right there. Whew.
now. And Gabe's a fucking powerhouse too, man. He's a great fucking
Absolutely.
drummer. So to
Yeah,
see
he
it,
is.
like, I saw him second night he was on and I said, "How you feeling?" He's like, "Well, night one was a little tricky, but tonight I feel great." I'm like, "Dude, I I watched you. You were fucking great. I don't think you missed anything that I noticed. Like, props to you for taking it on. Takes
Yeah,
a
man.
fucking special person to do that."
Absolutely.
So
Especially, I guess, since it was mid tour, they probably didn't really have a rehearsal. So it was
night
maybe
one
like
was
a
the
sound
rehearsal.
check. It was
Yeah,
like, yeah, what song should we play? Yeah,
yeah,
that's got to be brutal.
yeah. He was fucking. It said he was really nerve-wracked night one, but shit, night two, he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Yes, you are." Not, I could never fucking do that, but good on you.
Yeah.
So I know Scour doesn't play a lot out, but do you guys are there plans to play more shows? You just did one at what, Southport Hall or something in New
Yep.
Orleans?
Yeah, we did one. Yeah, it was right after the big haunt, which that's when we recorded a lot of those music videos because we always all go. I guess I've been down there the past 4 years for the haunt, and yeah, we turned it in. My cousin John was like, "Hey, what if we just play a show while we're all together?" It's like, it's a great idea, John. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we. we got to practice and play a lot of this stuff like as a band, because studio, you're in there, you want to get the solid takes, and we never really got to jam these songs until right before that show. So that was really awesome. We played Infusorium live, Blades, I believe next up for Milwaukee Metal Fest. Well, I don't know if I want to give too much away, but yeah, we're gonna be playing another track off the new record that has never been played live. And I'll play any of them. I love them all.
Fuck
So,
yeah.
but
That's good.
we do have plans. So we had, yeah, Milwaukee Metal Fest, and we hope to book a few more shows this year, but Down has stuff coming up, and Pantera's got stuff coming up. So it's, you only, you, we'll take what we can get. I guess just put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I
think
wish we could play more.
all of you all have so much going on that
That's the other thing. Yeah, it's not just Phil. I got Pig Destroyer stuff and Nail Bomb's playing some shows this summer, filling it with Nail Bomb, and then Misery Index has shows this summer. It's so we're all extremely. But John has his band Nest, and yeah, so it's a lot to. Oh yeah, nice. I'm wearing my Pig Destroyer ones right now, but yeah, I got a pair of those as well.
yeah, you and fucking Pig Destroyer just played Louisville, which is where I live. And
That was awesome.
the night you guys fucking played, something came up and I couldn't make it to the show. I'm like, I bought a fucking ticket, but didn't make it to the show. I'm like, motherfucker.
Damn. Well, hopefully there's a next time.
I'm sure there will be. Even if I gotta travel, I tend to I tend to do that.
Nice.
So obviously, with like Milwaukee Metal Fest that you are not giving us too much about. Um, Phil's doing, I think, down that weekend. Do you guys have any plans to maybe do a show or two around that? No?
No.
Damn it.
Sorry to shatter your dreams of me. I'm just like, no. No, actually,
You,
right before that is that's going to be a whirlwind because we're going to jam that week prior down in New Orleans, uh, at the Lair, of course. And then I fly from New Orleans to Vancouver to play a festival with Pig Destroyer, and then Modified Ghost Fest. And then we fly to Chicago to play the Dark Lord Day, Three Floyds Brewery Dark Lord Day, and then that's that Saturday. So Sunday, then driving up to jam with Scour. So it's gonna be like I'm gonna be cross-eyed by the end of that weekend. Whew.
how do you separate that, right? Like playing with each of the bands and going from like one night with Pig Destroyer, the next night with Scour. Like, how does that work in your brain?
I wish I could explain it, but I guess I'm just conditioned at this point. Just been playing drums for so long, and there's been nights where I've done double duty, with say Misery Index and Pig Destroyer the same night, which is brutal.
Yeah.
But never really done this like yeah, Pig Destroyer into a Scour gig because Scour how we hardly ever play, but we got the offer, and I was like, already had these other two festivals booked, and it was like I could do it, but it would have to be on that Sunday. That's the only day that it would work. And they were like, well, that's perfect because I guess Down's playing Friday. And so that's cool that they, made it happen with my schedule even. So it's like, because
Yeah.
Misery Index played the first Milwaukee Metal Fest back, what was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
And it was a fucking blast. We played the big room at the rave, which was hard to do because it's a big ass room, very boomy and echoey, but we made it happen.
That sucks.
So
Like you're like,
it's
no.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration when you're playing like the rip and fast stuff. Like you got to have isolated in ears or you're fucking screwed. It's just like it's not just like you know.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on in my ears? I don't have it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
what a nightmare. So out of your years of like touring, is there a club or a place you like to play more than any other place? So like when it pops up, you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm so glad we're going back there.
Whew, that's a good question. Stateside, and maybe, I'm a little biased because I've lived in Baltimore for like 20 years now and used to work at this venue, but the Auto Bar has always had a special place in my heart. Uh, yeah, that's one of my favorite stages to play. Played amazing shows there with multiple different bands. So that's definitely one. Um, Reggie's in Chicago always rules.
I feel like
What's
that
another?
place comes up on almost everyone's fucking tour, like it's like we're
Oh
going on
yeah,
tour. Reggie's. All right.
Reggie's. Yeah, everybody that works there is super cool. Always, yeah, always a good time. For Europe, there's one stage, the one venue called the Backstage in Munich that just a legendary spot. Multiple different rooms that you can play at this point. I've definitely played them all, but that's a really cool compound. There's like beer gardens and just super cool spot. I mean, it doesn't get much better. And then there's another venue in Tilburg in the Netherlands called the O13. That's just as pro as it gets. Amazing sound. Always a killer show there.
Fuck yeah.
I could probably think of quite a few more, but that's what I guess pops in
Those
my
are
head immediately.
the first ones. That's cool. So
Yeah.
we've got a new place called Portal.
Okay.
And it's not huge. Like I think, compared to like headliners is like 700 cap. Portals, I think somewhere between 300 and 500. I think
Okay.
closer to 500 mark. But it's just a super cool room. All the people that work there are super fucking cool. But the really cool thing is like you go backstage and they've got this like art displays, which is super fucking cool. And then there's a freaking record store back there, a tattoo shop. Um, you come play a show, you can get a fucking tattoo, which is super cool. Buy some
That
new
is sick.
records. Yeah, just it's just a super cool fucking place. I would like to see a lot more people come and play there. The guys that own it just put, I don't know, fucking tons of money into the sound system just to, really hone it in and I'll say over
Yeah,
the
that's
last,
important.
yeah,
You can have a killer spot and have killer bands come through, but yeah, the sound of the venue is so important, man. I don't know how many clubs you played where it's just like the room is just like
garbage.
not set up. It's not set up for it. It's just like, and it's like for the artist and for the audience, it's like, you want to see a good show. You're spending your hard earned money to go out and have a good time, and it's just like, ugh. Sometimes it's not even the band; it's just the room. You're just like, wow, this sounds like shit.
Well, and when that room sounds like shit, it can really turn you off to a fucking band too. Like if it's your
Oh,
first time
exactly.
seeing them, you're like, oh, I don't know that I ever
You
want
think
to
it's
fucking
you think it's the band's fault, but it's just like no, the venue
right.
sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I think some people I've got a 3 time rule, right? If you suck the first time, I'm gonna see you 2 more times. And if you suck all 3 times, it's your fault, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. At that point, it's like, you kind of blew
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, okay, I'm done to listening to you. And that's always, I think a lot of people really look for that live experience with the band. You want to see them like on their shit. Like, are they gonna fuck up? Absolutely, but not fuck up to the point where you're like, oh, like, is this the band that I even wanted to listen to? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotta go
Yeah.
get a beer or something. I can't even watch.
Like, fuck, I'm out of here. See ya. With the release of Gold, like, do you personally have any like goals or thresholds that you would like to see it meet?
Uh, like regarding like
Anything. Like it could be, I don't know, fucking seeing the growth of the band or amount of sales or just people enjoy it or whatever.
I just hope that, it finally, I guess, catches on for some people, that like they finally like maybe come around to it where they're like, oh, okay, I'll finally give this band a chance. Hopefully we get to do a tour, or it'll it would be the first Scour tour, which has maybe been discussed, but fingers crossed on that one. And yeah, I just really want people to just enjoy it. It's we all put a lot of, as every band with any record, a lot of work goes into every single record. And yeah, it's one of those where I just want to show everybody. It's like, check this shit out. Like,
Yeah. But as you should.
which is a beautiful thing about making music. It's like, you want to be proud of it, of course. And that's like a number one goal, is that you're satisfied, and, that it rips, and, just like stoked about it. Like, fucking, I remember when Phil, like some of the first vocals that I heard on the record was before a Pantera gig, and it was here in Baltimore. Yeah, it was the one in Baltimore that I went to, and I finally got into the venue and like got to the backstage, and like as soon as I walked into Phil's room, he like saw me, and he was just like, and he just like sits down, didn't even say anything. I was like, "Yo, man," he's just like not talking. I'm like, "The fuck?" And he just like hits play on his laptop, and he just stares at me, and it's like the Scour vocals that because I hadn't heard them yet at that point, and I was just like, "Whoa," you
Oh
know.
yeah.
A bunch of people were hanging out, and they were just like, "The fuck is this?" It was so loud and so awesome. It's just like literally like, you know, there's an arena full of people out there, and we're just like backstage listening to Scour. It's like, fuck yeah, you know?
You go out there and you're like, haha, I heard Scour's new fucking vocals and you guys haven't. Haha.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was the first taste that I got, was, yeah, right before a Pantera gig. And then afterwards, we went and listened to more. And he's like, check this part out. That's what's fun about listening to music with Phil, because he like, he gets into it, even just like jamming through, like you could be listening to, I don't know, Morbid Angel or something, and he's still just like, even though we've all heard it a million times, it's still like, jamming along, having a good time.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like, all the stories I hear about Phil and music is he is like a fucking kid, listening to music, just absolutely fucking into it, mosh pits in the fucking back of the bus, on
Yeah.
the way to a show, whatever, which is
Yeah. And he's always showing me, like, and showing all of us, like, new shit that, just you would never cross your radar. And like, hey, check this out. Like, which that's the best thing about music, is like sharing, like, like, yo, you ever heard this? And they're like, no. You're like, what? It's like,
yeah.
you got to immediately fucking stop what you're doing. Listen to this. Yeah,
Those are
man.
those are my
I found out
favorite
about
fucking
so much cool.
texts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, what was one that it just slipped by? It was Dead Horse. Yeah, never really exactly. Go check out Dead Horse.
All right. I'm gonna go check out Dead Horse now.
There you
That's
go.
that's fucking cool.
Um, yeah, there's so many hidden gems out there that just blow your freaking mind.
Well,
Breadwinner. Have you ever heard of Breadwinner?
mm-mm.
Okay. Treat
Nah,
yourself.
there's a crossover band that I fucking like a lot out of I'm gonna say Belgium, but that is not where they're from at all, I'm sure. Somewhere over there though. They maybe not even over there. They could be off a different part of the world. I don't even fucking remember. Called Veloza. It's like Velloza.
Okay.
And they fucking play crossover and they just fucking jam, dude. I don't think anyone really listens to them. They're just a little tiny band, but I'm like, fuck. I listen to them probably once a week just to be like, yes, so fucking good.
Velosa.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
yeah, those guys fucking jam. Uh, man, so what else are you listening to right now that you think other people should listen to?
Whew. Well, one record I haven't been able to stop listening to is this band called Dodheimsgard from Norway. They put out a record last year, or it might even have been 2013 or 2013, 2023. It's funny how you're like 2013. Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. It's like,
Right,
holy
12
shit.
fucking years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, Dodheimsgard Black Medium Current is the album. And it's just a man, we want to talk about going on a journey. It's the best way to describe it is um, definitely black metal influenced, but I guess you could say uh, avant garde. There's songs that are hideous sounding to like a song that sounds like all of a sudden somebody like put on another record or something. You'll
Oh
be like,
shit.
you'll finish one song and then the next song will come on and you'll be like, is this the same band? Really fun listen. I recommend it. Um,
Those are some of my favorite
what else?
albums when you fucking listen and you're like, hold on, why did this change so much?
Yeah, that new Blood Incantation has really been growing on me. Uh, Man, that's yeah,
Dude, and
insane what those guys did on that record.
those guys fucking live are so freaking good.
I haven't seen them since the new record came out, but I saw them years ago, and yeah, man, they're not fucking around.
No.
Um, Another band is Vitriol,
Oh yeah. Fucking
dude.
that last Vitriol album, fucking nuts.
And I saw them. I actually just saw them at NAMM. I was just in California last weekend, but uh, I saw them at this festival, Full Terror Assault. I don't know if you've ever been to that since you're
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
Kentucky,
Cave
kind
in
of.
Rock, Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Unfortunately, it's no more. But yeah, last year they played, and their bass player quit the day before this or something, like mid tour. So showed up like right when they started, and sitting there, I'm like, two piece. My God, dude's probably sick or something like that.
Right.
And then he went on to say that, like, yeah, our bass player, so we're rocking it as a two piece, and they like ripped, dude. It was just like they didn't give two fucks. It's like, the drummers, like that drummer is he's mind blowing, man.
Well, that
Right
they
up,
say the fucking show must go on. Like if you lose
yeah.
someone,
Which I applaud them because it's not easy to do. It's like, yeah, show must go on. Like,
yeah,
not gonna like make the fans pissed off, and like that could be the end of it.
yeah,
You drop off a tour and the label finds out that you're unstable. They might be like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
yeah. Get the fuck
so
out of
kudos to
here.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking hard, dude. Especially when you're used to playing as a fucking three piece up until that day, and you're like, I guess not today, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they fucking
Exactly.
get someone that, I mean, I'm sure they'll get someone that'll fill in, come in and really round them out like they had. I
Yeah.
think the dude they had was in Archaic um up until probably a couple years before Vitriol, maybe a couple years before, or maybe right up until Vitriol really fucking came together and started getting out and playing. And have you listened to Archaic at all?
I remember that name, but I don't think I have actually.
So I gotta think. Alex Bent, who's with Trivium now, I think Archaic was like one of his early bands.
Okay.
And so I heard about it. I met Alex at a Battlecross show when he was playing with Battlecross, and we we chatted music, and he was like, "Yeah, Archaic," and I'm like, "All right." Like, so I check him out. We fucking saw him. I guess we saw him in 2016. Of course, Alex was in I think he was in Trivium or getting ready to join Trivium at that point, but they had fucking all the musicians just super tight on stage, crushed it, and it was great. It was great for me, not for the band. There was like 50 people there or something, and I'm like, hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude. No fucking, I'm old. I don't want to break a hip, like I'm good right here.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
they're really fucking good though. You should check them out.
Definitely. Yeah. And
So what
one more before I know we don't go on this for too long, but this band called Manos de Firo.
Mono Stay Fero.
They're from California, and it's like the toughest hardcore music I think I've ever maybe heard. That's a bold statement. I can't really say that. It's tough. It's like punch whoever is in the room in the face as hard as possible when you hear it. It's
You
fucking
just walk up to them
God
and fucking deck them. You're like, what the
for no
fuck?
reason.
Oh,
Anyways, check them
yeah,
out.
that's
Yeah.
good stuff. So of course you're in 7 million fucking projects. What do you what do you have coming up over the next few months that you want to say, hey, come check us out, or we've got some new shit coming out?
I guess the next show would be the Decibel Metal and Beer Festival with Pig Destroyer. That's Philly at the Forum.
Mhm.
So we're actually playing the same day as Dismember, which is going to be sick. And actually, another project in mind is actually we're going to hang it up. We, I've just reached a point to where it's like everybody's got too much stuff going on. It's a part-time band, extremely part-time band, but even being in a part-time band takes effort and time. So we were all just kind of like, yeah, maybe it's time to just hang it up, which is called Asthma Castle, which is kind of like more of a, I don't want to say stoner because it's definitely not stoner, but it's got influences from, you could say, like Crowbar, Down, Mastodon,
So real
uh,
sludgy type shit.
Metallica. It's got more substance to it than just like for for 20 minutes straight, which nothing wrong with that. I love it. But yeah, so we're playing our final show in Baltimore here March 28th. So that'll be fun. One last like send off. We're calling it one last blowout, and it's us on top of the like the colon blow skit from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
So we were cracking up about making that flyer. But yeah, then of course the first thing is why we're here is the Scour album dropping. That's next month, so that's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, like 3
Um,
weeks away.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, then throughout the year, just going over to Europe, doing the summer festivals and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, lots of fun stuff planned for the year. Not much, but it's enough to like when you space it out and you look at the calendar, it's like there's some shit happening.
Yeah.
Big Destroyer is in the works. I can say it, I guess. I don't care. We're going down to Australia, New Zealand in September, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, Misery Index shit. We're working on a new record. Pig Destroyer is working on a new record. There's constantly stuff happening in the music world.
Oh
So
yeah. Well,
got some new projects. I just talked to some people over the weekend at NAM and might be starting a couple other bands. Got a band with Devin from Sanguisugabog, Devin Swank
yeah.
on vocals, and then that's called Bludgeon by Deformity. So we recorded that last year. That's going to come out at some point this year. So yeah, just doing fun shit, and none of it's like that's the thing. A lot of people have this perception of like, okay, you're in a million bands. Like, how in the fuck are you able to like juggle any of that? Like, it's insane. But most of the bands that I'm in, we're at the point now where like nobody's really full time. You know, well, like the band that tours the most that I'm in is Misery Index and always has been. But even at this point, we do maybe two, three tours tops a year,
Yeah.
you know. So that leaves a lot of time open for other stuff. And I just like jamming with cool people and, you know, learning, playing different styles, you know, just, you know. Another
Yeah.
one that's going to come out on Housecore is Shot, the new shot
Hold on, you're
with
breaking up.
yesterday.
Nope, still fucking up. So the shock narcotic, is it the last shock narcotic? Because it's with of course Sean Knight from Child Bite and Don Slater from Battlecross. Ah, dude. Ah, yeah, I don't know what happened. Like your shit's fucking up.
I,
It's like they're trying to connect to multiple things.
yeah, sorry about that.
Ah, you're good. I'll make sure to cut this shit out.
What about now?
You're almost can't hear you.
Hello, hello.
Well, I can kind of hear you, but it's not through the headphones.
Now is it better?
And you're not cutting out now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so I think now it's the microphone on the computer is what I hear you through.
Oh my gosh, what did I do? Here we go.
If it wasn't for my kids, my shit would be all fucked up.
All right, is that better?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
So
yeah.
yeah, let's cut all that out.
Yep.
But yeah, Shock Narcotic is another album that'll be coming out on Housecore this year. Should be this year. Recorded the drums last year down at the Lair as well. And yeah, that's Sean Knight, Jeff Tuttle, and Don. Was it
Don
Don?
Don Slater.
Don Slater. That's right. I met him last year for the first time. Played Battlecross, and so that's
Dude,
something different too. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff.
Don is such a fucking beast on the bass, dude. He is I think he's one of the best bass players in just all of fucking metal. He such a nice dude, so fucking skilled, and like to watch him on stage, he's in his fucking element, dude. Like I'm I'm just like, Don, I love you. And he's like like, no, I really do, dude. Like you're fucking great.
Yeah,
Like
we
this
hung out in Detroit after the Pig Destroyer Red Chord show, the Crowfoot, which is an awesome venue as well.
Pontiac, yeah.
But yeah, he came out to the gig, and I was like, you know, just we were talking for a while, and the dude that actually recorded the record was like, he's like, "Do you know who that is?" And I was like, "You look familiar, man." And he's like, "You're in a band with him, dude." And I was like, "I am an asshole." Like, holy shit, I'm an asshole. But we never, he wasn't down there when I recorded the drums. It was
Right.
just me and John. So yeah, that's some fun stuff right there. Way out of, my comfort zone, which I like. I like the challenge, do something different.
Yeah. So is this Shock Narcotic album the last one?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
I really don't know. Because yeah,
Okay.
Zach Gibson kind of stepped away from music for a minute, and they had this album written for a while, and it was kind of unsure what was happening, and Sean reached out to me and was like, would you want to do this? And at first it was just like, I'm too busy, couldn't do it. And then like some more time went on and he's like, yeah, there's still nothing happening with it. Like maybe you still want to do it. Like here's some of the music. And I listened to it and I was like, whoa, it's like, this is really fucking awesome, man. I don't think the production on the first recording really gave him justice, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely definitely looking forward to people hearing that one. There's some really fun stuff. Jeff's a fucking awesome songwriter, so
Well,
it's gonna be a ripper.
and Sean's a fucking performer, dude. At
Oh,
like,
he's a maniac.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that dude.
he is for
They're actually
sure.
out with Pantera right now.
Yeah, I know. I think that's fucking super cool for Child Bite going out and fucking opening those shows. I love Snafu a lot too. So I grew up in Detroit. I actually, this is so funny. I went to high school with Sean Knight.
Okay,
Of course, that was 30 fucking years ago or whatever. And we weren't friends or anything. So like, I'm not trying to like say, oh, Sean's my dude. Like, no, we just went to the same high school. That's it. But Snafu also out of fucking Detroit. When we did oh, I had a couple of buddies meet me in Indianapolis for Pantera Lamb of God and fucking Snafu opened the show. I was just like, fuck yeah.
hometown boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really like that about Phil taking, the smaller bands out on the fucking road. Now, of course, they're all attached to housecore, but that's to see them with the ability to play in front of 17 or 20,000 or whatever is like, fuck yeah, dude. Good for them. Cause I know they gained some fucking fans there.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
That's
Keeping it
cool.
in the family kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, obviously he believed in him enough to fucking let's put some shit out on housecore. You know, if you do that and you're not going to take him out, like, do you really believe in him?
Yeah. Yeah. What a better way to promote it, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, it shows that he stands behind the fucking, the product, which is fantastic. And all those dudes are super cool. The Snafu guys, and of course all the Child Bite guys. Um, and like you said, they're fucking hometown for me. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, go. Get
Yeah.
more,
And I
get more.
saw King Parrot boys open up a couple shows as well.
Yes.
They were killing it. It's always fun watching them.
Oh yeah. Dude. Again, right? Fucking that whole band they're all fucking madmen. So like watching them perform,
Oh yeah, off stage, on stage, and off stage.
yeah.
Just like literally just laughing my ass off the whole time I'm hanging out with those guys. They're a riot, man.
Yeah, I fucking went to a show. I was talking with Youngie and I was like, "Hey, dude, I appreciate you coming." It was a show in Detroit, and he's like, "Oh, I appreciate you coming." I'm like, "No, you're the one that came from Australia, dude. I'm just a couple hours away. We're good."
Yeah, yeah.
Like fuck.
No, that's the cool thing. Like going down to Phil's, it's just like I've been down there when it's say everybody from down jamming, Pepper and Jimmy and Kurt and all of them. It's like Bobby, Bobby's the man. Now he's
Yep.
jamming with COC. So,
I know.
last year at the Haunt, we had like an impromptu COC jam with like the first time like Bobby, just joined the band. And the year before was like down, they got, they were like, all right, let's do it. Most of us are here. It wasn't all of them, but yeah, it was most of the band. But yeah, I've been down there when it was King Parrot, they were recording stuff, and you never know who you're going to see down at Phil's, I guess is what I'm getting at. And
Yeah, no, not at all.
it,
Like, you
it's
know,
always a good time, man.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's got a rotating cast of, of course, all the fucking I Hate God guys and down and
Yep.
fucking everyone's just like,
Yeah, it's too many to even name. Yeah, of course, the I Hate God boys. Yeah.
yeah, it's so funny.
I know
We
Mike
did,
Williams actually, he lived with Phil for a while. He lived over at the Lair. There's an apartment upstairs, and so he was living up there for a while. And yeah, my cousin John's living out there now
oh,
from
is he?
Scour.
He
So
wasn't, he was in St. Louis, but just
yeah,
I think just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we both grew up in Illinois, right outside of St. Louis. So him and I, we've been jamming Jesus since I was 10 years old, something like that. We've,
Fuck.
we had, I mean, we started out with like cover songs, of course, but we eventually, started like a band back when, yeah,
Fucking
pretty young bucks, rocking it.
yeah,
So,
but I think that's the thing with musicians is, they generally start at an early age, not always, but generally, and they're like moths to a flame, just constantly fucking drawn to it. Like you're once you do it, you're gonna be a part of it in some form or fashion for the rest of your fucking life.
oh, absolutely. I started playing when I was 8, was like when I first, like, I grew up around music. My
Right.
father's a musician. He still jams to this day. And so it's, one of those things where I always say when I was growing up and I would find out that you didn't play an instrument or like you weren't a fan of music, I'd be like, well, then we have nothing to talk about. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I was that kind of kid. Uh, so fast forward, here I am, 41, and I joined Misery Index when I was 20. So, I mean, I've been touring basically half of my life,
Yeah.
just crazy to think about at this point. It's like, wow.
That
So,
is
and
that is funny.
yeah,
Well, and
never thought I'd be in a band ripping black metal with Phil Anselmo. If you would
right.
ask me that when I was, in high school jamming Pantera, because I got to see Pantera, you know, the original version and you know, on the Reinventing the Steel tour, which I think that was the last US tour that they did,
Yeah, I think
possibly.
so.
Yeah, it was the one with like Soulfly and Morbid Angel. Morbid Angel actually had to cancel that show. I was pissed.
You
But yeah,
motherfuckers. Yeah.
I got to see them. I got to see them at least once, in the OG with the
Yeah.
brothers and everything.
Yeah, it's it sucks that dissipated and was never able to come back, obviously, through tragedies with Dime and Vinny and shit. It's such a divisive like conversation on Phil and Pantera now. You've got the people who are like, oh, I'm a diehard. Oh, if it's not the brothers, it's not Pantera. And then other people, I love the fact that so many people at least get to experience that live now.
And that's the main thing, man. That's, there's always going to be the haters and, say what you want to say, but it's so many people that never had a chance to actually see it live. And, the fact that they're out there doing the damn thing, and it's like a tribute to the brothers. It's a tribute to like for the fans, as they say.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't know how many people that I'm friends with that are like, we're the same age, but they're like, yeah, I never got to see Pantera. This is it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It
and how many
was
bands do you know of that are there's like one original member that you see live, that are still out there doing it? You could name
how,
millions of them.
how many bands don't have an original member in them still that's
Well,
going,
yeah, there's that too. Yeah, there's
So
definitely that.
of course, and I get it. But with Zach and Charlie filling in, I think they do a fucking terrific job. Like those
Yeah,
dudes fucking
absolutely.
crush.
Yeah, as last interview I did, I was saying it was like, man, Charlie is like the perfect dude to play that shit on drums. I mean, he's for one, he was really good friends with everybody back then. They were always tight with the Anthrax dudes, and I mean, the dude is just a badass drummer, and he's got so much groove. Like I was just watching a video of him last night, I think, playing Strength Beyond Strength, and he's just like ripping it, dude. But also like he's got this like swagger, and he's always like moving around and fun to watch, man. So fun to watch.
Really is. That was, one of my favorite shows with the new Pantera, I guess we'll say, is we were at Louder Than Life, and they fucking take the stage, and of course everyone goes nuts. And like I said earlier, I'm old, so I don't get in the pit. I don't want to be up close, so I'm standing in the back, and I'm standing there with a couple of buddies, and everyone's having a great time. And my buddy's son, who was, I don't know, probably 17 at the time, maybe 18, was like, the look on his face was like, this is the fucking best thing ever. Like, all right, that's fucking cool. So I'm enjoying that. And this group of people right in front of us, I'm sure they were all fucked up, drinking, smoking weed, having a good time. And the guy turns around and looks at me, and it was like chorus time and something. And we just both fucking like yell the chorus at each other. And he just runs up and gives me a big hug. And I'm like, this is what metal is about. Enjoy the fucking music, love the
Absolutely.
moments.
Yeah.
Ah, I'll fucking remember that forever. That's some good shit.
Hell yeah.
All right, Adam, I know you've got shit to do, so I'm not going to keep you again, dude. I appreciate you taking time out to come bullshit music with me. I I love the fucking new Scour album. I've already pre-ordered my
Thank you,
fucking
man.
17 copies of vinyl, so I get all of them. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you.
17. Like triple of this. Yeah. A couple of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do five of this, six of that, six of that. We're good. Like,
Well, I appreciate you, Tom.
yeah, for sure, dude. Go and have yourself a great day.
You too.
Thanks, dude.
Hell yeah.
See ya.
Cheers. Right on.